settings, stream, 20, okay. Can you guys still hear all that sound? Can you guys still hear? Yeah, is it any better now? Is it better now? Can you guys still hear me though? Okay. I just reduced the volume of my PC. Maybe that was the problem. Chalo. First of all, I want to start off with a disclaimer. Last week after the webinar, I mentioned that this drop was probably due to long unwinding, but it didn't give you guys any trades. I had like 10 messages on Reddit from people who bought like out of the money calls and stuff, and they ended up making money and they were sending me messages. Don't take trades like that. It worked this time, doesn't mean it'll always work. I have no idea. The market could have kept falling, right? Okay, so today I want to make it slightly more practical. We are going to go over trades that we could have taken, right? I'll give you guys a setup that I use. Hopefully, the same thing can work out for you guys as well. Uh, okay, so we've already discussed what happened last week, and then let's just start off with the first candle, right? So you had it moved up slightly, but then you had red candles. And always monitor both Nifty and Bank Nifty, right? They both have to move with each other. So the first day, we can talk about a concept called divergence. We've mentioned this before as well. But the markets, if they have to rise up, they need both Nifty and Bank Nifty to go up together. And it's the same way for it to fall. If there is a divergence, if Nifty is falling and Bank Nifty is stable, to go up, both of them have, so either Bank Nifty will have to move up or Nifty will have to fall, right? There has to be something or the other. So the market opens up and Nifty falls down slightly and then recovers, okay? So when I looked at Bank Nifty at the same time, I could see some sort of divergence. That over here, it almost reached where the sellers almost managed to make, to reach the previous lows. But Nifty looked far stronger, right? So over here, what's clear is if the market has to keep falling, Bank Nifty will be the one to break first. Bank Nifty will be the one which will push the entire markets down, right? And the day starts off, and we have a range being formed. Now, when you have ranges like this, you can't really trade because both Nifty and Bank Nifty, even though we can see some clear divergences, you can't really trade anywhere here because the entries and exits will be very weird. Where will you enter your trade? For this, the only way you can take a trade is if you can identify where the top is. So the market moves up, comes down, moves up again. If you see this red candle over here and you think this might be the top, the market might fall from here, this is the only time when you can take a trade. So you can enter right here, put a stop loss slightly above. So if your stop loss does get hit, at least you know for a fact that the trend has changed. The market has now broken out. Now, what happens when ranges are being formed is you can keep trading the ranges. You can keep shorting the top and going long on the bottom. You'll only be wrong once. So if the market breaks upwards, it will only do so once because that will be a very big move. If it has to fall down, again, it will just fall down once. Every other time, it will remain the same range. So this is a very long time period, about a couple of hours and stuff. But if you haven't caught this top, then you can't really trade this position, right? If you haven't got this top or this bottom, there is no other setup that you can use. Okay. Yeah, so over here you don't really see any movement, so you don't really have too many trades. The only trade as mentioned is the market moved up, it tried to make a new high. You can keep a watch out, you can keep an eye out right here. If this doesn't get broken and is immediately pushed down, you might just be able to go short. But then again, you can't really predict the breakout. So all your trades will have to be extremely small. By extremely small, I mean once it reaches the previous low, exit your position. There's no point hoping that this is the time when the market will crash down completely and you'll make 100 points. Unless you're sure about the target, this is another problem with beginners have. If you guys don't have set targets, then exit your trades quickly. If you have a proper reason for the market to fall, then go for those longer moves. So capturing 100-point moves and stuff is really hard. Anything over 50 is really hard. Even if you get 30 points, 30 or 20 points consistently with low risk, that's fine. Yeah, so the market fell down, and this is where things start to get a bit interesting. So the markets fall down, Bank Nifty falls down, it tries to break the lows, but it doesn't, right? And it starts to move up. This is when I also looked at Nifty at the same time. So again, 215, Nifty at yeah, so you can see what Nifty is doing at around 215, 220 compared to where Bank Nifty was. So Bank Nifty had fallen, and as we know, for the markets to fall, Bank Nifty would have to break first, and then Nifty would go along with it. However, we can start seeing that there is a problem. This market hasn't been able to push down properly. You can see some some green candles start to come in, and on the other hand, Nifty is still in a very bullish position. We don't expect this market to fall all the way down from here, right? Because this Nifty looks pretty strong. I don't think at this point of time you can reasonably have some sort of probability that the probability is higher that the markets will continue moving up as compared to falling down, right? So this is one trade I took. Again, when I started seeing these green candles come in, I went long right here because Nifty didn't look like it would fall. Nifty looked pretty stable and strong, and Bank Nifty I didn't think it would do anything. So bus enter the trade here. As soon as it went up and came somewhere around the top, and I started seeing some pressure, I exited my position. Right? You don't really have to go for really big moves or anything. There's another trade which you could have taken, which would be slightly more risky, but yeah, somewhere around here, somewhere around 3 p.m. So over here you can see a small range being formed here. Here the markets would either go down or it could go up, right? So we've discussed ranges before, as I mentioned, and ranges are important. There's probably something going on here. You can, for a clue as to which direction the market will break out in, you can look at the other chart. So let's just try getting to 3. Yeah, so we're at 3 p.m. and this market does look pretty bullish. Nifty does look like it will continue to move upwards, at least till it stops. If the momentum is strong, it could even go up further. So at this point of time, when this range is being formed, you could probably have some sort of trade where you go long somewhere around here. Your stop loss can be below the lowest point, and you can try to ride it all the way up till here. So again, this will be a very small trade. You can only trade the first candle because you don't really know where the markets will go up to. Again, in a range, the markets will only break up once and break down once. So whenever it reaches this level, 21681, which is where the first candle is, I would exit my position because you don't really know that this market is going to go upwards. ये तो बाद में दिख रहा है. Initially, we have no idea, but we can be reasonably sure that if it's going up, it will probably try to touch the top, right? So another decent 30-40 point move, which you could have gotten right here. And the market tries to go up and it ends. Now again, coming back to divergence, see where Bank Nifty ends. Bank Nifty opened up at 21901 and it ended at 21800. Compare that with Nifty. Nifty, where did it end? Okay. Yeah, Nifty actually finished over its opening, right? So this is another importance of the stronger market. If you want to go long, you can even think of something like I'll probably long Nifty because Nifty looks much stronger to me. So at 3 p.m. instead of taking the long trade in Bank Nifty, you could even opt for going long in Nifty. Hoping that if this breaks, it might move up. Now the next day, with the opening candle itself, there was another issue. So just compare the first candle of Nifty. Nifty tried to go down slightly. It wasn't really important since it only reached the highs, somewhere near the highs of the previous day, right? Before it moved upwards. So the first candle was completely green here. If you compare that with Bank Nifty's candle is also green, but one, it hasn't risen above the closing price, and it fell down much further. Again, giving you an impression that Bank Nifty is probably weaker over here. Wait, can you guys hear me? Is there a problem? Okay, so on day 2, okay, this is the trade I took. Yeah, so the markets fell down. Was this the one? Yeah. Yeah, so the markets fell down and then you can start seeing a green candle being formed. Again, so I compare it with Nifty, with what Nifty was doing. And Nifty, whoa. Yeah, so let's just compare times at 10:05. Yeah, at 10:05, again, Bank Nifty looked strong, much stronger as compared to as compared to Bank Nifty at least, right? And once I started seeing some green candles, that gave me some sort of confirmation that maybe this might just keep going upwards because this market doesn't look weak. It doesn't look like anything will fall over here. So this is when I went long, and as soon as the next candle hit, again, it's somewhere near the top, just exit your position. Now this market, I think it went upwards even more. However, you can't really judge. Again, the same logic applies. You have these small 30, 40 points. This move, this one candle got me 40 points, if I remember correctly. And again, the market's just trying to move. You're just noticing if the market falls down here again, and you can judge the momentum properly and confirm it with Nifty, you can probably enter long positions at this point of time, right? But it hasn't. Here it tries, but it doesn't really go down properly. And here at 12:05, here the markets have fallen down, and again you can start seeing a green candles coming in again. Now this could be another way where the sellers tried to push it down, but for the past couple of days they haven't been successful, right? The buyers have been slightly more in control. 12:05. Yeah. So again, Nifty is looking very strong. This doesn't look like it'll fall or cause a big crash here. And if you enter your long position, you can probably exit somewhere right around here. Hmm. Yeah, another thing here is the market breaks out at around 1:30 p.m. and there's a DD which has been posted on Reddit stating that what happens when the market breaks out of a range with high volume and everything. If it's in a range and it breaks out, usually the same trend continues. Now, however, now this could be slightly confusing because we are thinking of going long here since the range has been broken, but over here we didn't think of the same thing, right? So the markets fell down, and I didn't tell you guys to go short here because this is a range. This is a proper range. The markets fall down. So why didn't we go short over here? Over here we didn't go short because we saw a divergence, right? So we have a reason for not following the rule. What the DD says is most of the time, once there's a range being formed and it's broken properly, then the markets continue in that direction. But over here, it's again near the previous low. It didn't look like it had reached it properly, and Nifty was looking strong. This is the reason why we didn't go short here, but instead we went long. But in this case, again we can refer the same DD, which talks about ranges and breakouts, and you can probably think of going long over here. And you can probably exit whenever you can. Somewhere around here would be fine because this in itself would have given you 50-point move. You can't really estimate where the markets will go all the way up, where the markets will end. So I think it's best to just, unless you're sure about a trade, unless you're sure fundamentally about what your target should be, I think it's best to just quickly exit. As long as you're getting more than 30, 40 points, that's a good trade. Hmm. Coming the next day, yeah, Nifty went quite a bit up. Yeah, so the next day again you have a small gap up, and as I've taken the same trades before, right? Where I usually trade around the gaps. If the market tries to break this level, I expect it to go all the way down. But if it isn't strong enough, and you immediately see some buying pressure coming in, I usually go long. Now I'm not saying this is what happens all the time. Again, it's just something which usually works. As long as something works some of the time or most of the time, more than 50%, that's a decent setup because over the long run you will make money. And I've taken like 3, 4 trades even last week. So what's the time? Yeah, so I think I entered a position somewhere around here. Markets opened up, tried falling, didn't really look like it was going to close the entire gap, and it started to move upwards. And then at Nifty, the same time, 10:10. Yeah, and Nifty at the same time at 10:10, it had already formed a green candle, right? So there's sometimes a small lag. How do I split this in? Yeah, so at 10:10, Bank Nifty has already moved up, but Nifty hadn't. And Nifty did look like It tried falling down, it isn't, and it did look like from here you might expect a move all the way to the high of the day, right? Market doesn't really do anything, goes up slightly, and whatever. By this point of time, since it's been so long, since you're an option seller, if you're following what we say, the important thing is that with time, theta will help you take trades, right? Because the option will keep losing value over time, and you will keep making money. And again, this is day 3. This is the third day of the week, right? So if you're selling weekly options, as we've mentioned, the theta decay should be quite strong. So whenever you see this green candle, the market has tried reaching the top. You don't know what the next candles will do. You can probably exit your positions. You'll still make some money, right? So I'm just going over some setups which I take, and something which I think you can take as well, right? So these are some. They aren't risk free, but they work most of the time. And if you stick with it over time, you should be profitable. Now another trade was at 11:20. Yeah. So again, markets try to fall. It tried to break the gap, and immediately buyers have come in again. So this is a decent level, right? Because this was the last low that the market had made, and now it tried to breach it, but then buyers immediately came in. So if this market has to fall, it would probably have fallen already. Or even if it did, it would just be one trade that would go wrong for you. So even if there's a big fall over here and you enter the trade right here, your trade will just hit your stop loss of 25 points. However, we've already taken the same trade 3-4 times already, and we've made money. So over time, again, this is just a probability thing. You can't really predict what the market is going to do at any point of time. All you can do is just manage your risk in such a way that you win either most of the time, or if you have like a low probability setup, just make sure that when you do win, you win big enough and cover all your previous losses. So what some traders do is they target big moves. They target like 100-point moves, and they have stop losses of around 20-25 points. What happens in that case is, even if they have like 3 consecutive bad trades which hit their stop loss, they've lost 75 points. But the one trade which will work will net them over 100 points. That'll cover everything for them. So you have multiple ways of trading, basically. According to me, going for these longer moves is much harder. It does require you to set a target. So for beginners especially, small moves, 30 points, 40 points should be good enough. Now 11:20. That's where we want to get to. What's this? Yeah, so 11:20, this is where Nifty is. Again, Nifty has, the sellers have tried to push the market down, and immediately you see buyers starting to come in. This is again a decent level, the previous low. Bank Nifty is also at its previous low. And this time around, Bank Nifty hasn't fallen as much. So this is why I'd probably prefer to go long in Bank Nifty here. You see this move, the first candle which comes in, you can probably exit right here. Again, you've probably made 30-40 points because of the momentum of the move and how strong it was. It'll make you more money as compared to a small move which has taken a long period of time to happen, right? Otherwise, I think this market went up anyway. Yeah, so you could have exited here as well. The market is still moving upwards. However, as long as you get your 30 points, that's it. You're good enough. You could be done for the day. 30 points a day is more than enough. Compounded over time, that would be insane. As long as you're consistent with it. And I don't think I took any more trades this day. Now again, the markets fall down. You can test the same thing out. Markets fall down. You have a green candle come in. What time was it? 1:40, 13:40. Yeah, over here. See? Even if we'd taken this trade, I didn't. I just stopped trading for the day. Right? But over here in this situation, once you saw it tried to make a new low, it couldn't. Again, buyers had come in. Buyers again came in. You could probably again have the same setup which we used here and here, right? And we used it previously as well over here. So we've used the same trade, we've used the same setup, the same trading principle to have multiple trades. Over here again, same exact reasoning. Here, same reasoning. Here, same reasoning. Over here, same reasoning. Again, you can be wrong, but you'll be wrong. You won't be wrong. You'll be wrong a minority of the time. So over time, it's fine. Markets go slightly upwards, it goes near the top, near the day's previous high, you can probably exit your position. If you're very adventurous, then you can probably hold and try to time your trade right at the top. But we should probably just leave that for the experienced traders. For the rest of us, small moves, they work. Yeah. Day ends, gap down the next day. This is again Thursday. Yeah, market gaps down. Thursday. Yeah, okay. Gap down and the market is trying to move upwards. Down market trying to move upwards, and let's see over here in this case, what I was trying to do is judge how strong the buyers are, because after a gap down basically means that somebody big has sold, because it's a big move, right? This big move was probably done by institutional investors, so you never want to go against those guys. Whatever trades they are taking, if those guys are short, it probably makes sense to go short as well, since they'll be with you and you can probably hold on to your trades longer as well. So once the market started moving upwards, this was a bit weird, didn't expect the markets to move upwards. But then I started judging how strong the buyers were. Okay, so there's a range being formed, market falls down slightly, goes up again, you have a decent candle, but look at the volume. The volume here is extremely low. And this green candle couldn't really make a new high, or at least a significant high. Markets continuing. It isn't really moving down, it isn't really moving up. And whenever it falls on a certain level, there's always somebody who pushes it up again. Right? Okay, now sellers came in, you had some high volume. Okay, so this could be an indication. Maybe this could be your breakout, or the next candles could push the market upwards, since you have volume here, right? However, the markets do rise up, but then volume has again fallen down completely, and this move doesn't really do anything. If you ignore the wick, the body of this candle is roughly the same as the previous candle, which is in line with the high of the day. Yeah, 12:25. Hmm. Yeah, okay. So at 12:30, you see the markets drop, right? And over here, I had a sort of short position. I had a short position here mainly, but it wasn't really very logical. First of all, I had gone short somewhere here because the buyers had started to look very weak. After this last green move by the buyers, after the last upwards push, and the sellers starting to come in, I wasn't really confident in the buyers anymore, and I thought that maybe, just maybe, could the sellers could finally come in and push the markets down. So I was chatting with my buddies who are on the mentorship program, and I mentioned this on the chat that at somewhere on this time, this could be a time where the markets fall down, and luckily that's what happened, right? However, I still messed this up because it was a sort of a YOLO trade where I didn't really have solid reasoning for what was happening. I exited the position as soon as the price reached somewhere here. As soon as the first candle was almost done, I exited. Probably should have held on, but you can't really have perfect trades all the time. And yeah, I did take another trade later on. Yeah, so the market started to rise. The markets fell down and started to rise. However, again, the same principle that you are in a place where the short sellers or whoever made the market fall down, he's still in control. You had some big guy who pushed the markets down, and now the market is trying to go all the way up again. However, this guy should still be in control unless the market moves above the previous break point. This is where the reversal happened, where the buyers got completely extinguished and the markets fell down. So unless the market significantly breaks this and moves up till here, it's still better for you to go short because maybe the big guy, the big institutional investor will be with you. And then over here, you could see that the markets went up. It's trying to go up again, but each time it's trying to go up, it's being pushed down. So this is when I had a short position, somewhere around this level. And whenever, as soon as I saw the first move which happened, which was somewhere around an important level, which is the lowest point, which is the previous low, I exited. Again, this turned out to be a decently sized trade. So these are small trades. I didn't really have big moves, but as long as you get like 30 points in a couple of trades, that's fine by me. Markets continue to fall, and once it came back here, again, your same, I mean, doesn't really matter. The markets fell down, went up again, fell down, and they're starting to rise up. Basically, they haven't been able to breach the previous lows. So this is our exact same setup. We've traded 5 times already just in this session. When the market is at the previous low and you can start seeing green candles come in, it is a good idea to try and go long. Obviously, you need multiple factors with you. Always look at what Nifty is doing at the same time. So Nifty again fell down and it came up. Right? The next candle was again going up. It didn't look likely that the markets would completely fall down here. So since you are at a proper support, ignore these lines. These lines aren't what's important. Actually, just delete them right away. So these lines are important. Just judge where the previous lows are. Judge how strong the momentum is. Could the markets move upwards from here? And you can have decent trades. Again, even if you enter somewhere. One more thing. Don't enter when the market is falling. Don't go long when the market is falling, because you never know where it will stop. So if you are, for example, if you want to go long, you think that the market should go up from somewhere around here, but wait for a couple of green candles to be formed. Don't just enter short immediately, because this thing could just keep moving downwards. You have to wait for the downward movement to be complete. You have to wait for buyers to start coming in, and once the buyers have come in and have shown you some stability, that okay, we are here, we aren't being pushed down right now immediately, that's when you can start thinking of exit of going long. So even when you have proper support levels, even when you can see that the setup is there, don't be in a hurry. Always wait. Even if you miss the trade, that's fine. You can miss as many trades as you want, because over time, eventually, you'll just get better at it. You'll get better at identifying when exactly to exit, when exactly to enter, sorry. But don't be in a rush to enter when the market is falling. That can be very risky. And coming to the last day was slightly weird. Mainly because for fundamental reasons, I was slightly bearish. The markets opened with a gap up and they started to move upwards. But the first candle itself was slightly confusing. If I go to Nifty, yeah. So Nifty also opened with a gap up, but then we're at 11,400 at this point of time. So this is pretty much near Nifty's all-time highs. I mean, the recent all-time highs. So 11,400 does seem like a sort of level where the markets usually do fall down from. So I was slightly bearish. When the markets moved upwards, they didn't look very, very strong to me. So I decided to go long over here. However, that didn't work out because the market just kept going upwards and my stop loss got hit. And then I had another trade at 11:45, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, so the markets were in uptrend. They were rising somewhat. The markets fell down, made a new low, and immediately you had some buyers come in. Now, when I was looking at Nifty at 11:40, yeah. So this is Nifty at 11:40. The markets, Nifty has tried to break the gap, tried to move downwards. It hasn't been able to. And now it is trying to move upwards again. We know that this is an important level, right? You can ignore the lines again. The lines don't really matter. All you know is there is a gap up opening. The low of the first candle is important, and the previous day's low or the day's low is always a point of concern for us. It's always a support level, right? So it goes down and then it moves upwards. Once this is starting to move upwards and this was going upwards, I entered a long position. However, this red candle happened and I got stopped out. So my stop loss, I entered the trade at when the option price was 310 or something. My stop loss was at 339. and this option went to 341. I was probably unlucky here, but then yeah, stop loss got triggered, and then yeah, there were two bad to bad losses on this day. The next trade is that one, yeah, at 105. 105. Yeah, so I entered another long position somewhere around this level. So I was long here, but the markets fell down, took out my stop loss, and then went upwards. The up move wasn't really strong. It couldn't really go to the tops of the highs, and then the markets tried to push down again. However, the markets tried to push down, but immediately you could see that this area, this line, looked like some sort of resistance. Looked like some sort of support where the market was resting. And even the previous time when the market had gone down to this level, the downward movement wasn't really strong. It's just a wick, which means as soon as it fell down, the markets the buyers came in and tried to push it upwards. And yeah, so at the same point of time again, we are near important levels for Nifty as well. So this is the time when I went long, markets went up, and somewhere around this point I exited my trade. In the end, markets fell down, and I think I took a trade at pretty late, 250 or something. Yeah, so at around 250, the markets after it went up, came down, went up again, tried to make a new higher high. It couldn't. It got pushed down, and this is the time. This is at 245, and as we can see, this candle is again trying to make a new high. Now over here, I wasn't really sure the markets would move any higher because Nifty was already at a level where it keeps getting pushed down from. Yeah, Nifty at this point of time isn't looking strong. It isn't making new highs. It's actually falling downwards. And when I look at Bank Nifty, it is trying to move upwards, but it isn't able to. So I had another position here. Now this is a bit of a YOLO again, because I'm not really sure that the markets won't break upwards. I'm just basing it on the fact that there is a resistance level here. The market has tried multiple times, and third time it probably won't have the strength to break through again. This green candle happened and I exited like really quickly. I think I got about 20 points from this, covered like some of my losses. Still ended the day with a loss, but overall the week was decent. Made profits on 4 days, and that was it. Chalo, so hopefully this setup that I used to trade is now clear to you. Maybe you guys can apply it. If you can, paper trade these gaps, paper trade the previous lows. Try to figure out what the momentum is. Use volume as a secondary indicator, and hopefully it'll work out for you. So if you guys have any questions, I'll just go to live chat. Okay, let's just take a break of 5 minutes and then I'll go through all your questions. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just go over the questions now. Uh, that red indicator on the right is volume profile. You guys can hear me, right? Wait, can you guys hear me? Yeah, I think you can. Okay, so the this red indicator on the side is volume profile. I don't use it much. Somebody recommended it to me, and I just put it on, but I don't really use it very often. It's not important. I can remove it right now if you want. I don't use indicators. It's not a indicator as such. The moving average is also there. The moving average is the 200-day moving average. Again, just something which people look at, and sometimes it does act as support resistance. So somewhere around here, but then again, I haven't based any of my trades based on that. All of my trades are based on price action. What's paper trading? Paper trading is basically mock trading. We have links to various paper trading websites on the subreddit. So you can just go on r/Indian Street Bets and you'll find tons of links. How to account for upcoming news during trading hours, like AGR, PM, or FM have some press conference at 2 p.m. Then how do you manage your trades? Simple. I don't trade. Or you can listen to my last webinar. And last week we had tons of these announcements, right? So on Thursday we had the RBI meeting. The next day we had the AGM. The next day Modi ji came on. I didn't trade for the RBI meeting. I didn't trade the AGM. But during Modi ji, I had a couple of trades. So you can look back at that video to figure out. But usually what happens is because of fundamental factors, the market can move in any direction. And because of fundamental factors, either one, you know exactly what the market is going to do. If you know what the market is going to do, then well and good. It's very easy. However, if you don't, most of the times I'm confused, so I just don't trade. Simple. Again, the news, do I stick to price action or adjustment strategy for news? Again, same thing. You don't need to take a risk. Next question, why don't you trail your stop loss once you've reached the point where you want to exit instead of just directly exiting? That way I don't miss a bigger move. Again, I'm going for very small moves, right? So for example, for me, a 40-point trade is really good. Anything over 50 and I'm probably lucky. Because judging, finding out where in the range the big move will come from my trading level, it does take luck. So my moves are 30 to 40 points. Abhi, in a 30-point move, where will I put my trading stop loss? If I put it at 15, even simple volatility can just take it out. So your stop loss, again, it has to be, your trading stop loss should be somewhere where if the market touches that point, the trend has finished. So this is why I don't use trailing stop loss. Profits will be locked in, but they'll usually be smaller. So if I have a 30 or 40-point move, my stop loss will be what? My trailing stop loss is what? 15 points away at least. There is a high chance of that being triggered.